Have you ever been excited to write some Python code only to hit a wall with an error message? It's frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle a common issue in Python, calling a method inside a class. I totally get it. You write your code, and then you see that dreaded add time is not defined error. It's one of those moments that makes you want to pull your hair out. You're definitely not alone in this. Many new Python programmers face similar challenges. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user wrote a class to manage time, but when trying to call the add time method, they encountered an error. They even tried defining a main method, but nothing printed out. Sound familiar? Let's dig into this together and find a solution. So what could be causing this issue? In Python, if you want to call a method defined inside a class, you need to ensure that you're doing it correctly. We'll break it down step by step so you can understand what's going wrong. And don't go anywhere. I've got a crucial tip at the end that will help you avoid similar issues in the future. To resolve the issue, the user needs to ensure that the method addTime is defined within the class. In Python, methods should be defined inside the class to be accessible. Next, the user should modify the way they call the addTime method. Since it's now a method of the time class, it should be called on an instance of the class. Additionally, the user should ensure that the time-to-int and int-to-time methods are also called correctly. They need to use self to refer to these methods within the class. Finally, the user should implement a main function to encapsulate the execution of their code. This will help in organizing the code and ensuring it runs correctly. Fun fact, did you know that Python was named after the British comedy group Monty Python? So if your code is making you laugh or cry, just remember, Python has a sense of humor too. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests a solution to the error by ensuring that the constructor of the time class accepts 3 arguments. They recommend initializing the time object with default values of 0 for hour, minute, and second. Additionally, they mention that if you want to include methods like time-to-int, int-to-time, or addTime within the class, you need to indent them properly and include self in the method parameters. Let's check out another perspective from a different user. In this alternative solution, the user suggests defining all methods within the class. They create a time class that includes methods for converting time to seconds, converting seconds back to time, and adding 2 time objects together. They emphasize using the self keyword to call methods within the class. The user also demonstrates how to create instances of time class and add 2 time objects together, ensuring the correct output is printed. This approach resolves the original error by properly structuring the code. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. An alternative approach provided by a user involves creating an employee class. This class has methods to calculate pay based on wage and hours worked. The user demonstrates this by creating 2 instances, Alice and Barbara, each with their own wage and hours worked, and then prints their net pay. Let's move forward and look at another answer. An alternative solution provided by another user demonstrates a simple class method. They define a class C with a method f that adds 2 numbers. The result is stored in X and printed. However, they caution against executing code at the class level, suggesting that it's better to use static or class methods or to run code at the module level instead. Here's the crucial tip I promised. Always check your method calls and indentation. This habit can save you from countless headaches in your coding journey. And there you have it. You should now be able to call methods inside your class without any issues. Remember, practice makes perfect. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our bonus tip on mastering Python.